Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hi if you're new, and welcome to me seriously trying to take down my physical TBR. It's at the stage now that my physical TBR is probably about 1,000 books, and I've got books out from the library as well on top of that. With all the new releases that keep coming out, it's just getting a little bit overwhelming. So, as one of my last videos was like quite a sizable haul, I'm not putting myself on a book buying ban. I can buy books, but I'm only going to let myself have access to them unless it's like a really, really bad day, okay? I'm giving myself a couple of really bad days a year. Unless it's a really bad day, I'm only gonna let myself have them at birthdays and Christmas. So they're gonna go away. So I'm gonna get them, I can haul them. For you, that's fine, but I won't be reading them until I'm actually like getting them at one of those times of the year. That way, hopefully over the next few months at least, because my birthday's not until August, I should really be trying to read the books that I have bought over the last year or so. And I'm starting with the ones that I got more recently, partly because they're ones I'm more excited about, because some of them have just come out, I've just got them out of the library, or I've just ordered them, or I've just thrifted them, so they're still a little bit fresh in my head. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to have a stack beside me of about the 10 most recent books that I've got. I'm going to work my way through the stack, and I'm either going to keep topping them up, like stick one underneath at a time, or I'm going to wait, finish the stack, and then get out another 10 books. So, in this vlog, you're going to see me read over the weekend. It's Monday morning now when I'm filming this, but I'm going back over Friday to yesterday. Where I really try and start making an effort to read my physical TBR, and I'm going to continue that this week. So I hope you enjoy the video. It's only a short one, and I'll see you in my next. Bye. So it's 6 o'clock Friday evening. I've had dinner, I've washed up, Duke's on my lap, and I'm about to dive into Wayward. I am really enjoying this book, and I've got just under 100 pages to go, so good start to a Friday evening, I think. I'll catch up with you later. So I've just finished Wayward. Absolutely loved it. 4 out of 5 stars. Would really recommend it if you want sort of a feminist, kick-assy, witchy read. Trigger warnings, however, for miscarriages, for terminations, and domestic abuse. So just be aware of that going into it. But I really loved how all the characters seemed to connect together. The way that they sort of realised their own strength and power in it was just really, really good. So, yeah, definitely would recommend. So in one of my last vlogs, I said that I was going to read 3 chapters a day of the Intimacy Experiment, so try and have this finished by the end of the month, and I've neglected it for a few days. So I am just going to read 3 chapters tonight before I move on to the next book, but then at least I'll feel that I'm going back to it, because I am enjoying it. And I am determined to finish it this month. One way or another, I'm finishing this book by next Sunday. So it's a bit later now, it's just gone 8. I'm getting a bit tired now, so I'm not going to do an awful lot more reading tonight. But I did read another 3 chapters of the Intimacy Experiment, and I'm enjoying it. And I'm about to read a chapter or 2 to end the night of The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix, which I'm about 50% of the way through, and that basically I sat and binged on Wednesday. However, it wasn't necessarily a good binge. Not loving it, I'll be honest. But I'm really hoping it changes and gets really good, because it sounds good. So basically we join the Final Girls in the support group, and the Final Girls are girls that are the last person alive basically after a massacre. They're the only survivors. And they've been meeting this support group, I think it's for 16 years now, and it's just them and the therapist. And basically one meeting, one of the girls doesn't turn up. Not particularly charming reason as to why not. And it turns out maybe somebody's targeting these girls. However, so far I've just found it incredibly predictable. And there was one bit that was meant to be a bit of a bombshell, where somebody's found out that another one of the group are meant to be doing something, and I'm like, actually, I think this, and I've just been proven right. So
I just hope that doesn't continue all the way through the book. It's just a bit disappointing when that happens. Do you know what I mean? When you just sort of read a thriller and you predict the ending and then it's just like, I don't know, the shine's a bit taken off. But we shall see. We're 50% of the way through. There is still time for this to turn it round. So fingers crossed it does.
It's 9 o'clock on Sunday morning and I'm shattered. I've been up since about 5:30. I really wanted to be organised for next week, so I got one of these time blocking sheets and I had a bit of a session where I wrote down everything that I've got to get done next week. And then I put everything in the time blocking little sheet and I was like, wow, that looks really great. That's a really organised week. And then noticed that I've still got about 30 things that I have not been able to fit into next week. So if anyone knows any way of magicking a few more hours into today, please write it down below. But actually that whole practice that was meant to make me feel more relaxed going into next week has actually just stressed me out a lot more. So I thought, right, what can I do this morning to feel a little bit more organised? I've just finished a load of washing and I've just ordered food shops to collect tomorrow and Thursday. So, you know, we got clean clothes and we're going to have food. That's a very good start. Okay, I'm happy with that. Reading wise, I had wanted to finish the final girl support group yesterday. I only read about a chapter and a half because I went to work to do one project and then I left 8 hours later after one project led into another. But I would love to finish this today, really, because I've had enough of it. But I'm at that point now, I don't want to DNF it. I have got, what, about 80, 90 pages left. So not long at all, maybe like a couple of hours reading and then I'm done. So I kind of feel I'm at the stage past DNFing now. And we're in sort of the heavy action stuff towards the end. It's just not, I'm really hoping there's a massive twist or something here because it's just not quite doing it for me at the moment. But can't win them all. But yeah, I'd hope to read a lot more in this vlog. I'd hope to at least be on another book by now, but life happens, we crack on. I'm going to pop out shortly and sort out a few things, so I'll catch up with you hopefully later when I'll be reading that book and hopefully finishing that book today. We have got this. So it's about 2 o'clock now, I've had a bath and hair wash, I've got some washing done, had something to eat, cheeky little glass of wine, but most importantly I have just finished the final girl support group by Grady Hendrix. And do you know what, the last 50-60 pages pulled this up to a 3 out of 5 star, maybe a 3.5, which was brilliant because I really wasn't enjoying it. It was taking me ages to get into it. I was getting really frustrated with it, but I think it went in a very good direction and I think it ended well. So overall, I'm now pleased that I read it. The next book that I've taken from my pile is The Silence Project, and this is by Carol Haley. Now, I requested this from the library, but I don't remember anything about it now. So it says, it has been 11 years since my mother's death and the questions never stop. On Amelia Morris's 13th birthday, her mother Rachel moves into a tent at the bottom of the garden. From that day on, she never says another word. Inspired by her vow of silence, other women join her and together they build the community. 8 years later, Rachel and thousands of her followers around the world burn themselves to death. In the aftermath of what comes to be known as the event, the community's global influence quickly grows. As a result, the whole world has an opinion about Rachel, whether they see her as a callous monster or a heroic martyr. But Amelia has never voiced hers publicly until now. When she publishes her own account of her mother's life in a memoir called The Silence Project, Amelia also decides to reveal just how sinister the community has become. In the process, she steps out of Rachel's shadow once and for all, so that her own voice may finally be heard. I think that's why I requested it. I think it just sounded so dark and odd, and I'm like, yeah, I need to read me a bit of that. So I'm going to get going on this, and when I've read a few chapters, I will check in with you again.
So I'm 3 chapters into the Silence Project, and so far it's very strange. Strange is the best word I can come up for at the moment. We've met Amelia, and she's sort of now writing this book about Rachel's story, Rachel the mum that went silent. And we go back to Amelia's 13th birthday party, where she'd asked her to mum speak, and then obviously the mum went down the bottom of the garden, basically started moving into a tent, and we're starting to now go through how her and her dad are dealing with this, but that's about as far as I've got so far. But it's really good at the moment. It's definitely captured my interest. I just think this is going to be a little bit darker than I anticipated it being, but we shall see. So I am now on chapter 7, and I'm really getting into it. It's very strange, but at the moment it's more about how the mum's silence has affected Amelia, and that her mum's basically like this local celebrity, and the rumours that are going round. I think this is going to be quite an interesting read. So, and it's on Scribd as well, so I was able to listen to a chapter while I was cooking. So I'm going to dive into this tonight, and I'm also going to end the vlog. So I'm going to show you next the stack that I am aiming, which is like the next lot on the TBR. And in the comments below, let me know what book you think I'm going to go down to in the stack between now and my next video, which should be about Friday, Saturday time. So yeah, let me know how you think I'm going to do reading wise, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good week. Bye.